Let us bring on the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, a man, as I say, I admire so much for his honesty and his fearlessness. He's an author, media personality, the president and founder of BOND, which is the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny, an American religious nonprofit dedicated to rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. There you are, Jesse. How you doing?
Hey, Andrew. Thanks for having me on. You look great, man.
Thank you. It's mostly makeup. That's so I heard you got thrown out of your gym.
I did. No. Last Friday, I go to Equinox, and I've been going there for years. And so last Friday, I had to do a 10 a.m. interview with my friend Bill Cunningham out of Ohio. So I get to the gym, I put on my workout clothes, get myself all, run to a quiet room. But I've been doing this for years at the gym. And so I'm on the phone. I can't move because if I do, the call would drop. So this guy, the employee came in, he said to me, "You got to get out of here." And I'm telling him to hold on just for a minute. I'm doing an interview. He's like, "No, you got to go now." And I'm like, "Hold on, man, just hold on." So he went and got the manager, and the manager came in and he got right in my face and "You got to get out of here and get out of here now. You have to leave the building. You can't come back. We're going to cancel your membership." And I'm like, "What's going on? I'm doing an interview, just a minute." And so I left that room and my call dropped. So I lost the interview, and the guy was all in my face and just carried on. It didn't make sense to me. I had no idea why that was happening because employees have seen me in those rooms before doing interviews and no problem. And so I get off the phone. I'm like, all right. And so I told the guy, he was in my face. I said, "Get the F out of my face." I used the manly words. And, and then he said, "You can't talk to an employee like that." I said, "Yeah, you're right. I apologize." So I put my hand out to shake his hand to apologize. He like, "No, I'm not." He wouldn't accept it. And so he told the employee to go and call the cops. And when the guy walked away, the manager said to me, "You're saying that there is no racism and toward blacks and Hispanics. You're a Trump supporter." And I'm like, wow, that's what this is about.
Wow.
It's about being a Trump supporter. And so he said, "You got to leave. I'm canceling your membership." I said, "Look, I've been here forever. I never had any problems there. There are a lot of folks, because they see me on TV or heard me on radio or in print, they know where I'm coming from, but they like me because I'm a good guy, right?
Right.
But the guy threw me out anyway. He told me I had to leave. He wouldn't hear anything. Just, "You gotta leave." And he hated me so much because I support President Trump that he overreacted. So now I'm looking at what I need to do about this situation. I'm looking at my options right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is Equinox Gym. I mean, they are a big LA gym. I see them all over. That is amazing to me. They do not want you working out if you support the president. That's it.
That's right. And this is on Sepulveda Boulevard. It's the largest one that they have on Sepulveda Boulevard between Olympic and Pico.
Yeah, I know it.
I have been warned, though, I have to tell you, Andrew, by some of the workers and some of my friends who go to this gym. They were like, "You cannot let them know you vote for Trump. You can't support Trump around here. This is a liberal gym, and if they know it, they're going to get you for it." But, they talk about Hillary. They're always putting Trump down, and I refuse to cower down to fear like that. I have a right to vote and support whomever I want, even if they don't agree with it. As I don't agree with them, I have a right to do it. I'm not going to cower down.
Oh no! I've never seen you do. I've never seen you do anything that even resembled cowering down. So I don't expect. Well, I want to hear what happens with this. Now, you and I during the primaries, we had a great debate on TV on your station that where we talked about this. I had serious reservations about Donald Trump. I still have some, but you were all in on Trump. You loved that guy from the minute you saw him.
Yes.
How are you feeling now?
When you and I were on my TV show, the FallenState.tv, when President Trump announced that he was running, and he said, I'm going to put a big, beautiful wall around the borders, and Mexico is going to pay for it, this big, beautiful wall. I'm going to bring back jobs. I'm going to deport illegal aliens. I'm going to cut back on restrictions and regulation. I'm going to protect this country from radical Islamic terrorism. I said that day, this is our next president.
Wow.
This is what we need.
Yeah.
And when I woke up on November 9th, 2016, I turned the TV on right away, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they said Donald Trump is our 45th president. I went to cloud 9, and I have been dancing on the ceiling ever since.
You still feel this way?
I am more convinced now than I was the very first day that he announced that he was running. This man is what America needs. The way he handled that situation in Charlottesville, Virginia, over the weekend was perfect. He said it was wrong on both sides, that violence is wrong. Never mind who is doing it, it is still wrong. And he mentioned later that even though you might not agree with the alt-right, they had a permit. They had the right to have their rally. And for the Antifa and Black Lives Matter to come there heavily armed with the intent to attack these people was absolutely wrong. And so, and then yesterday he had the most powerful press conference that I've ever seen any president have. This would go down in history as one of the greatest press conferences ever, because the man told the truth. Even being attacked by the media, he was able to tell the truth. And Andrew, that's what we need. We need honest government. We need government that put the country first. And President Trump is doing that.
What do you think of the argument that there is something unique in America about the journey of black people out of slavery to equality that he is kind of missing, that it doesn't address that deep well of feeling that some blacks and whites have, that there's this terrible racism in this country. Should he address that more? Are they wrong about that?
He's addressing it. First of all, black people are not on a deep journey. Yeah.
Okay. I kind of thought you were going to say that. Yeah. Yeah.
Black people, not all but most, wouldn't recognize a deep journey if it slapped them in the face. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Black Americans are not suffering due to so-called racism. The ones who are suffering, and most are, is due to the destruction of the family and the lack of moral character. Black people are angry. They're angry first at their mothers who have turned them away from their fathers, and the mothers are impatient, imposing their will on them, being, or too mothery, and it causes the kids to become angry. And when you become angry, whomever you become angry at, you become like them. And so the anger that you see in black men and women is the anger of their mothers, and they're yearning for their fathers. The worst thing, Andrew, that can happen to a child, it doesn't matter the race or color, male or female, is to turn them away from their fathers. Because when you turn them away from their fathers, it leaves a deep down void, like an emptiness, like something is always missing in your life. And what is missing is a return to the fathers. And so blacks are yearning for the fathers, and they're angry at their mothers. And instead of telling them to forgive their parents because their parents couldn't help themselves, they're told that it's racism or that it's the white man, something else that is not. So blacks are being used in their fallen state of anger for political and personal gain by the far left liberals, the black politicians, and the black preachers. It's not about racism, Andrew. Racism have never existed, and it does not exist today. It's either good or evil, right versus wrong. And when you read my recent book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, I prove that racism does not exist. It's a made-up word in order to divide and conquer.
Well, then what about the idea that guys like Steve Bannon and the Breitbart sites and all this, they give quarter to evil when they allow these Nazis and these white supremacists to speak as if they were part of a decent movement. I mean, these guys are evil, aren't they? The Nazis and the white supremacists, they're so so full of hate. They hate the Jews. They hate the blacks. They hate everybody. I mean, they're just there is something terribly wrong with these people. And some people say that Trump, or at least Bannon, have given them some kind of credibility. You don't think so?
I don't know about that, because I do know that anyone who has anger in his or her heart is evil, and they cannot be trusted, because anger is the nature of the great deceiver, Lucifer or Satan, whatever you want to call him, because love is of God, and love is not something that is emotional. It's not something that you can taste or touch. Love is simply not hating. So anyone who has hatred in their hearts are evil, and they can't be trusted. And so, you hear everybody, or most people, pointing out what's going on, what's happening on the right side or with white people, but you don't hear what's happening with black people. For an example, and I'm on Newsmax TV. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I have I have a daily live show on Newsmax TV Monday through Friday. And today I show Louis Farrakhan, when Louis Farrakhan said, I want 10,000 black men to hunt down and kill those who are killing us. I didn't hear anybody say anything about that. Barack Obama didn't repudiate him. The liberal media didn't repudiate him. The right side didn't repudiate him. But had a white man said it, it would have been all over the news. It would have been everywhere. And then you had Black Lives Matter saying, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it now? Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon. That's evil. And instead of repudiating Obama and Black Lives Matter, Barack Obama invited them to the White House, the heads of the organization, more than once. So how come it's okay to point out evil on the right side, but not on the left? And that's what that's what the President Trump, the point he was making. Why is it that it's always with the white folks, but never with the blacks who are doing the same thing?
What do you have to say? There are a lot of people on the right who they used to call themselves Never Trump, and then once Trump got elected, they said, well, okay, we're not Never Trump, but we really still oppose this guy. He's bad for the party. He's bad for conservatism because he's such a blundering guy. He's such a bull in a china shop. Do you think that they're being played in some ways, the right wingers who still oppose Trump?
Yes, sir. They are being played. They are weak. They're cowards. They don't.
Okay. Don't beat around the bush, Jesse.
President Trump is a man who is finally telling the truth. We have a man in office who, for the first time in my lifetime, or at least of voting, is keeping his word. He promised to do those things. And in spite of the opposition that is coming after him, he's bringing jobs back. People are now working and making more money. The radical Islamic terrorists on the run. He's cut back on restriction and regulation. We have a conservative judge on the bench now in the U.S. Supreme Court. He's doing what he said he was going to do, but what it is, America is accustomed to a weak father. I remember a long time ago, with my stepfather, my mother married my stepfather before I was born because it was an embarrassment to have children out of wedlock. And so, and my stepfather was a decent man. But one time my sister and I had a fight. We were little kids, but we had a fight, my older sister, which was his daughter. And she hit me and I hit her back. And instead of my stepfather punishing both of us, he only punished me. And as a kid, I knew that was wrong. And so I went and told my mother, and she took his side because she was too weak to stand up and tell the truth. And that's what we have today. America is not accustomed to seeing a strong, white, conservative, Christian man with power stand up and deal with evil in the way that they are dealing with it, because America is so weak now. They can't handle the truth. And that's what's happening with President Trump right now.
Jesse Lee Peterson, I always love talking to you. You're a breath of fresh air every time. It's always great to see you. I hope you'll come back and we'll talk about it more again.
Anytime. May I give out my website?
Yes, please do. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell people where to find you.
I want them to go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. And for those who don't use the website, we have older people who don't use it. They can call us at 800-411-2663, 411-BOND. And our battle is not about color. It's not about the physical. It's spiritual. It's about right or wrong, good versus evil.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot, Jesse. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. That guy just, he will say what he's going to say. And, you know, people have pointed guns in his face, and he does it anyway. Anyway, he's heard they threw him out of his gym.